New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Look, man, it's Ebro in the morning. Laura Styles, Rosenberg, Tory Lanez is here. What you heard him saying was he wants to be in the next season of the Wu-Tang.
You said you want to be You God or someone?
I'm a great actor, word.
Have you done movies yet?
Nah, I've done my own movies. Things that I filmed and stuff like that. But nah, I have like as of lately, I've been doing like a lot of self-tapes and shit though. Like from my agent and shit. So I feel like I'm gonna land.
So you're like pitching to actually get a role out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna land a role very soon. I can act. I'm a good actor.
Anything you can let us in on that you've tried out for?
I tried out for Coming to America.
Oh, word.
I tried out for new season of Narcos.
Oh, okay.
Tried out for a lot. Yeah, I tried out
you're not messing around.
For a couple joints. You know what I'm saying?
Has your agent had the convo like you may have to cover up face tats and make
No,
up
I don't
that
think
and all that?
The craziest thing about it is especially in this today's world, like it's actually more susceptible. Like there's a lot of rules for
tats.
and
That's
also
true.
you got to remember like it's just a makeup brush away. It's not
Now, have you made a decision to stop where you're at right now
What do you mean?
with the face tats?
I'm not
next
gonna go
step-
no
the
more.
ne-
Like I was never ever gonna go under my face.
You're
or
past
anything
right
like
now.
this.
I actually look at you and still don't think you look like a crazy person.
Nah, I don't.
But one
you know?
step further in,
Now,
one step further in, it gets a little wacky.
100%. You gotta remember, like when you get tats on your face, anything above hair doesn't change the appearance of your face. Once you go under here and on this and on the side and under here, and this is your whole different. This is when you start looking scary, or you start looking like one of them kids. You know what I'm saying?
There are people I'm really fond of who have those tattoos. It's not like I don't.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, your buddy.
No, I wouldn't say that. I like, but we like little Xan though. Xan's a good kid.
Okay.
And when I see Xan though, still looking at him though, I still get a little bugged out by the under the. There's something about
I don't know.
it.
I don't like the tats here.
It drags the face down or something.
Like it makes you look sad or something.
It does make
you
It's
look
like,
sad.
Yeah.
No,
You're
that's
good right
just
now.
how I be feeling like.
I asked
you know?
Blueface about that. I was like,
Oh,
my
Blueface
man,
too.
my man.
But isn't his tats on the side?
Yeah, he got
But
a
like from
whole,
the side
he put
to the side
Benjamin
and here,
Franklin on his
But
face.
he does have Benjamin
I was
Franklin.
like, yo, my man, you put a slave on your face, bro.
It's distracting.
Like,
I think that's
whoa.
part of the name.
Yeah,
though.
we didn't
It's
think
part of
that-
the name Blueface, though,
Right.
right?
No,
It's a Blueface
okay, but
100.
there's a lot
Right.
of things that are blue.
But the Blueface
Cookie
100
Monster?
is what
No, but he
I
wants
think
a
he was
blue-
calling himself.
Listen to Tory.
You stupid.
I'm just saying.
But the Blueface.
Benjamin Franklin?
It's the Blueface 100 though. That's what it's.
What the fuck was he supposed to do? Tat a Smurf on him or something?
Yeah, see?
There you go.
He's gonna pop a Smurf. Or Smurfette.
Or Smurfette.
Chixtape 5,
Yeah,
Tory
man.
Lanez. Now, for those that don't know, and the reason this is 5 is because you've been doing this.
Yeah.
I've been doing this longer than you, Sway. He's been doing this on SoundCloud, but you obviously early on paying to get samples cleared, et cetera, et cetera. Is that what held up this actually become? Because this is an official release now.
Nah, the thing about it is the original projects started as mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because we never really expected it to even get as far as it did.
People
the
love
fact
it,
that
man.
Chixtape 5, before people even knew about the features on it, and whatever, people were already excited about the fact that it was about to be a predominant R&B project from Tory Lanez. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I was already excited at just the reaction that I was already getting before people know. Mind you, like, it was only the last 2 days before the album dropped where we let people in on the features.
Wow, so people
So it
didn't
wasn't the
realize
features
that
that drove.
it up a
Yeah,
notch
it wasn't the
and get
features that drove it.
Right, because it's samples of songs we already love, but now you took the song you sampled and put the artist you sampled on the same song.
Exactly. You know
So
what I'm
Ashanti,
saying?
and then Ashanti on the album cover, bruh. Ashanti is looking.
I mean,
She looks different.
Ashanti.
How did that come about?
Murdering.
You knew exactly you wanted Ashanti on that cover?
I knew it. For sure.
He figured that was the closest.
Nah,
he
me,
could get the date. That's what
me
he was
and
trying to
me
do.
and
He
Mid
ain't
Jordan.
slick.
He's stupid, man.
He was like, "Yo, mom put you on this album." And then, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, you crazy. Me and Mid Jordan had came up with the whole concept for it of just putting like he wanted to originally put all the R&B girls on the cover, like 5 different chicks from the time, and I was like, nah.
Ashanti.
I think there's only 2 women on the project, and it's Maya and Ashanti, and I think that at the time I was just like, I have a good relationship with Ashanti, and I was like, I'd rather put Ashanti on the cover just because I think to speak to the fact that she was a staple of this time, but also still relevant today, still looking the same. It was like,
Right.
it's like, like
She looks
I just felt like I had to shine some light on that, and the fact that I was just like, this is gonna be dope for the everyday viewer who Ashanti still is relevant and still popping. So you got to think about it for the average viewer who's seeing her 5 million followers and all this stuff on the gram. She's still looking the same exact way, and I wanted to shed light on that too. Like, she didn't miss a day.
You
like,
shed
you know
light.
what I'm saying?
You shed light. Light's bright.
You know what I'm saying? But
Different type of light.
You're making it sound like the cover has like nudity. It's a very
Right?
wholesome
Like,
cover.
you know what I'm
She's laying
saying?
on a bed, just like listening to
You
the
haven't seen the
Right.
other, you
It's
haven't
very
seen the
chill.
outtakes. You haven't seen the outtake photos, the other photos?
No.
Hang on.
those weren't that bad
No,
either.
it's not
which
bad.
They're
It's not that it's
not.
bad.
They
It's
are
just that
not.
she's
it was very
bad.
everything was very tasteful.
Yes,
you know what I'm
yes, it
saying?
was.
Super.
Sean.
Like,
Wait, hold
Nah,
on.
the way he
Hold on.
looked to the left, the way he went,
Oh my Lord.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is special. It's special.
But
Let
she
me
just
see.
looks like that.
But
It's
this
not
ain't
even
the
like,
album. This is just like, And by the way, Ashanti does this sort of thirst trap into
She reminds
us
people.
Oh, yeah, sure.
mere
This one-
mortals.
It's a little
This one's-
provocative.
Sure, this one's got a little,
You know what I mean?
full
Let me
flame.
see a picture, y'all. Look at
Little
that.
pepper.
That's not from the album. You didn't put that on
gonna
the
lie.
album. You saw that though.
Saw
She
that
posted it, though.
That's what I'm saying.
That was
But
nice.
now you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. So as long as we're on the same page,
Nah.
fellas.
So wait,
Look, even Laura Styles has an appreciation
I
for
mean,
this.
she looks incredible.
Looks
So Laura,
incredible.
look.
I saw the photos. I saw the photos.
She's
She
got
looks
on panties
incredible.
and a wife beater, man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Nothing wrong with that.
So this is it's a mixtape, but you put it out officially.
Yeah,
so
this
in
is
your
the first album.
so does it? But are you treating it like an album fully?
Yeah, I actually had a real rollout, a lot of nostalgic things that we brought back for the rollout. Like we redid the iPod commercial, we redid the
Oh, right, I
Nike
saw that.
commercial with the basketball. We redid a lot of stuff just to make people remember the time and the theme of which the project was, which it was 2000 to 2006, 2007.
Now I didn't do my research, but the Jerry Sprunger video
Yeah.
is a takeoff of the I'm Sprung video.
Yeah,
from T-Pain.
like we went that far
Yeah.
with things. Like, I was like, I want to do the video exactly alike. When you actually, look at both videos, you'll realize the starting skit is the same, except, instead of Akon talking to T-Pain, it's T-Pain talking to me. The house looks the same that I sat on.
do-rag with the unnecessary headband wrapped around
Come
it.
on, I gotta get my Joel swag on, my
You know what I'm
Dipset,
saying?
my
Have to.
halfway Dipset on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like just the whole aesthetic of it, and even the aesthetic of a lot of the other videos that we're gonna do are spin-offs from the actual
I think
visuals
your
too.
jeans were unnecessarily baggy too.
I
in the
mean,
video.
they gotta be. If I'm gonna go
He's going
2000s
for
vibe,
2005s.
Throwback
Yeah, like-
jersey unnecessarily big.
it's gotta be. It has to be. Okay, what am I supposed to wear? Like a fitted?
No, you doing
You
the right
know,
thing.
it's
I'm
like
just saying.
honest. It's not. It damn near is not even
Had to
right
be.
if I went fitted. With
Now,
it, you know?
take us through from a sample standpoint, right? If you sample an old a 2000s R&B record that already has a sample in it, so they sampled something, right?
Yeah.
So they sampled a record.
Yes.
You're sampling
yes,
them.
Yes.
So
and
do you
yes.
have to pay publishing on both
Yes.
songs?
Yes. And yes. I have to. This is why it was so hard to clear. You had to. First of all, when I brought this to the label, they was you're bugging. You're bugging the fuck out. But
And do they encourage you to do stuff from their label's catalog? I would assume.
nah, but what I actually did too, I asked for a catalog from the label of stuff that would be like easier to clear. And some of the
Okay.
songs on there were like a little bit easier than others, but you had to clear the song, wherever the song was actually sampled from, the writers, the artists, the publisher, the label, the soundtrack and movie it came from, the whatever it came from. You had to clear all of those.
How many samples in total did you clear?
I think it was 40 something. 40 something, 16 features.
And I can imagine it kind of makes it easier with the artists when you include them on the song too, because they see it
course.
as an opportunity as
That
well.
was one thing that helped us in a weird way, but that was also something that hindered us too, though, because then we had to now
Work
clear
with
the
the other labels.
exactly, and then clear with whoever their label is now, and then also clear with whoever their label is back in the day, and then like you know what I'm
God.
saying, whatever issues they got together, it's
So
like
it's just in Tory Lanez
you know?
fans. He didn't do this because he made a lot of money off of it. He did
Yeah,
this for the
actually,
fans.
it was actually it was counteractive. We actually didn't, do this from a monetary standpoint. We did it from a standpoint of like, yo, like I'm losing money doing the album, But what is going to come out of it, of course,
the
is
body
going to
of
be
work you're now
incredible.
gonna
And the
have
body,
forever.
exactly. And it's. I feel like it's damn near at a place where it's going to be critically acclaimed because no one ever did it before. You know what I'm saying? And so, like for me, I've never ever. I've never been one of those people to overlook my blessings. I feel like I'm blessed in a way, and I went mad hard at this. Like there was times when there was people, whatever building, saying like, "Yo, we don't really want to do this project because," and I had to be like, "Yo, the project is the thing we need to actually do."
It's
Whenever
and it's
you're
also
talking about
helpful to music.
Yeah,
and it's
it's
helpful
like,
to
you
R&B,
know,
and it's helpful.
You gotta look at rap right now. Rap is in a horrible place.
Why do you feel that
horrible
way?
place. You gotta look at it right now. What's the best rap song you've heard right now? Like, what's the best rap song out right now?
You mean that's like commercially known, like a viable known song?
Commercially known, or like just
Or
something
just something that's moving the
something that
party.
shakes you, like in a while.
Is
like,
where you're going. A lot of them is singing on these records. Is that where you're going?
no, I'm just saying in general. Like what?
You just think there's not much.
I just
mean,
feel like rap has gotten to a repetitive place where it's like
lot of sound alikes.
A lot. It's a lot of. There's this one sound that's like right now that's like it just sounds like it's just out of like a automated box, and it's just like let's just go on it, put a bunch of autotune on it, hood nigga beat, hood nigga song, it's good to go.
There's some talented guys, and they're saying some things, but like, yeah, I hear you. Like when you get into like the Polo G, A Boogie, Roddy Rich,
But see, those are
Some of those
three
sounds.
guys. Those are three guys that I think, at least with them, the substance in the pockets that they hit us
Right.
is actually at least a little.
and that's
bit,
why I say they got
is a
talent,
little
but
bit.
there is some sound
But then
alike in there.
but then there's a lot of other dudes who I feel like come up, and it's like, of course, we all draw sounds and inspirations from each other. Like I've been one of the people who've done that too. Like I'll never ever take anything from it. But at the same time, I feel like when everybody starts to sound the same and all of our music starts, and I keep hearing the same drum and the same kick and the same snare and the same hi-hats and the same patterns, it gets to a point where I start saying, yo, this shit's in a bad place right now.
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a trip. I even heard Young Thug. What's the record Young Thug got on his album? Maybe it's Hot. Joined with Gunna.
Yeah.
Where he says even something about these young artists trying to act like they started this whole sound.
Yo,
Like, 'cause
Thugger.
a lot of them
I
is
think
taking-
Thugger is responsible
For a lot of this.
for 75% of the rap style that's going on right now.
Right.
And I don't think that we shed enough light on Thugger for that. Like there's a lot of copying of Thugger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
sure.
He
like,
clearly
Yeah.
recognizes it because he talking shit.
But I think that it's so important for him to shed light on it because of the fact that people just have been taking his style so blatantly and just not showing the respect or showing I got it from here, which nobody ever really wants to do because you never want to come out saying you got your sound from here. But at the same time, let's be real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when it's like the time when I got into the issue with Roddy Ricch, and he was like, "Yo, I feel like you sound like me on this song," and da 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 da. And that's my brother, by the way. You feel me? But at the end of the day, it's like we all have a piece of something. Like I feel like there's a heavy influence of Thugger's style on Roddy Ricch's music. You feel me? But at the end of the day, he takes his own inflections and makes his music what it is. Thugger does the same and makes his music what it is. But we all take little things. So it's like to say that we're not inspired by each other or that we don't take the inspiration from each other would be a lie. So I think it's just when you do take it though, you got to be able to be like, yeah, I took that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think, like I said, back to my point is that I feel like a lot of artists and a lot of artists in this industry right now, have taken a lot of stuff from Thugger. You know what I'm saying? Or have been inspired by Thugger a lot.
And
you know what I'm
because of
saying?
the borrowing and because of the rate at which so much music is coming out, it's got a lot of things sounding the same.
Of course.
Yeah, the time it was. And by the way, I think Future belongs in that conversation too of
Yeah, Future, of course.
the
Future,
last
Thugger,
iteration.
you know what I'm
of-
saying?
Those
Like,
two had a huge influence.
100%. Future's had an influence on my music. I've taken like a lot of inspiration from the way he's created music and the things that he's done.
But you said it well. The key is taking those things and going a different way. I just heard a story recently that I did not know, that the Beatles, that John Lennon had a jukebox They had a jukebox that was filled with all kinds of records of stuff they loved. Wow. And at different times, they would literally look through the jukebox and be like, what do we feel like making today? Mm-hmm. And they would just pick a record that sounded like another group they admired.
That's crazy.
And they'd be like, let's just go in that vibe today.
But
they did it their own way.
Sting will outright, and he's a bass player and a jazz bass player by trade. Sting of the Police. He'll straight up be like, all of us steal. Everybody steals. You're taking from something and you build on it. Even when you look at old Ray Charles, he was taking from gospel records and turning it into secular music,
100%.
right? Like,
I mean,
100%.
You got to think about it. At the end of the day, when you think of music, it's an inflection of something that you either heard or heard previous, or a style that you heard previous. Like when you make music and it comes out of you, it still had to be heard from somewhere. Something has to be like something you heard for you to be comfortable with it. For you to feel comfortable with it, it damn near has to feel like something that you're already comfortable with before you made
Feel
it.
familiar.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Unless
rare.
you're really just like a real weirdo and you just came with something
And there's
that's
some of
just
those.
so.
Yeah, there are some
you know what
rare
I'm saying?
ones. But even they have influences. Even the weirdos still have influences.
Trust me, there's some guy in their hood that they listen to, or somebody that probably didn't pop.
Like even Old Dirty, right? Old Dirty heard someone.
I heard Old Dirty was doing Biz Marquee.
Maybe it was Biz Marquee. He just took it even more.
He just took it somewhere else. Somebody just told me this like a
what I'm
month ago
saying.
that they were told that Old Dirty was doing Biz Marquee, but then
Which, by the way, would make perfect sense when you think
Took
about
it somewhere else.
totally
Yeah.
out of key singing and yelling, and Old Dirty just went and mixed it with rapping and did it.
and took it to the street.
That's unique A son. You know what I'm saying?
Sound unique.
But still, I only, when I mention people's names, I only say their first name, the last name, then a comma on the first name.
Tory Lanez, Chixtape 5. So you said before we started this conversation, we were talking Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Before we started the conversation, and you were saying that it appears, from what you can tell, that this whole tryout thing was really a bad look.
I mean, I don't play football, dog. I don't even watch football. I don't watch sports, so I can't fully say whatever the case is. I just come from a consumer, watching
Which, by
from
the
the
way, is
outside.
most people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And just watching how the whole situation seemed to be playing out. I don't know every single stipulation of it, but I feel like from what I heard about the whole, they was trying to give him a whatever the case is, and then I guess somebody from his team or whatever was like, nah, it's got to be here, and da-da-da-da. I just think that for you to want to play and to make the video that you made and say, yo, I want to be here, I want to do this, I'm ready to play, I've been ready for 3 years, I think that it's like, okay, well, we know what you stand for at this point, right? Now, if you're going to turn over this new leaf, or if you're going to be this guy that's just like, under any means, I want to play, now I'm just kind of still expecting you to still go about it in a certain way. So
So let me.
I just feel like once you,
let me
I
ask
feel
you
like
this: you're an artist. You get out of a record deal, right? And you're out here doing your thing and making your music independently. And a record label that owns your publishing. You're like, look, man, I would love to get back on that record label. And they were like, okay, we would love to have you on our record label, but sign over the rest of your publishing before we let you back in. What are you gonna say?
I mean, that wouldn't be my situation in the first place.
But I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, not for you personally.
But I will say, I mean, I don't think that that's exactly what his situation is.
But it almost is, because what they've asked him to sign over was his ability to hold them accountable for blackballing him in the future.
But he did already hold them accountable once. You know what
I
I'm saying?
feel like this is my thing, guys.
Yeah, but I've known people who sued their jobs and continue working there.
My thing is like,
No, but then they're going to sue again? So
If some
but haven't
crazy
we?
shit
We
happens.
already saw it. We already seen this thing. We know what you. That was part of what I was saying. Like, I know what you stand for from what it seems like. You stand for, not kneel or kneeling when we understand what you stand
Police
for.
brutality,
we,
criminal
we
justice,
get it.
et cetera,
We get
et
it.
cetera.
And I'm all for it. And I feel you, right? But once you then take the standpoint of like, yo, I want to be a part of this sport that I've backlashed against so much, then it's like, all right, well then, try to play by the rules, at least, is what I kind of feel like at the end of the day. Now, with the thing with the contract and whatever the case is, it's your own. That's like, I don't know. I can't get into that. Like I said, I don't watch football. I don't know what the stipulations are. But at the end of the day, it's just like, I just feel like for anybody, any human being, regardless, if you're going to take the stance of, I really want to be here and I want to do this, then you got to play by the rules that come with that. And you got to know that, you're going in there to play by the rules because you're saying that you want to do this. That's all I'm saying. And that's just on a human standpoint, just from me looking from the outside in.
Yeah, I think that's a simplified way to look at it. I think it gets complicated when you've established a brand and you've established other things that you're about.
100%.
And then if they want you to now abandon an issue, an unresolved issue potentially that you guys may have, that's why this thing probably, the NFL should have probably worked this out behind the scenes before we all knew about it.
And that part's really what makes it hard.
And maybe reached out to him instead of him finding out that he had this opportunity to train. He found out the same time.
Allegedly,
we
found out when we found out last week that this was happening and it was all over the news was the same time he found out.
That's pretty crazy.
Not ideal.
Not
That's
ideal.
crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I don't watch football. I don't know the stipulations. But at the end of the day, my take is just how it's coming from a standpoint, just human to human. It
and I
looks
think that's
like
what the
you want to
NFL,
do
the
this.
NFL wants people to see it the way you see it.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's beneficial.
Like, I'm not saying you should go into the NFL and go against whatever the case is, whenever, if they can figure out how you guys can do whatever.
No, but it's a
that's
real
you
thing.
guys.
It's a real
and that's
thing.
what I'm
if
saying.
you want
Like,
a job somewhere, if you want to go work somewhere, and this is a general rule, you are accepting the terms of that employment. That's what a lot of us have to do.
yeah, it's kind of like you kind of got to at least understand the fact that you came in here and these are the rules, and they've been the rules before you ever came here. Not to say that there's anything different or wrong about you or anything, but like, we feel what you're standing for, and that's 100%. But at least you had to know at some point, okay, there's gonna be a time when I'm gonna go on the field and I'm either gonna have to kneel or like you knew
Well,
these.
that's a whole different thing. They didn't even get to that.
You know
point.
what I'm saying? But I'm just saying in general. I'm just talking about like just
Yeah.
general standpoint. Like like there's certain things that from a general standpoint and just from a human to human, that's just how I concept it and how I see it from where I'm standing. You feel me?
Now I know you have to leave shortly. You're a busy man. You said you're not into sports, but how about them Raptors though? That was pretty good.
That was incredible. That was like one of
Wait,
the.
are you a Raptors fan?
No.
Oh.
Still.
I love the Raptors because I'm from Toronto.
I'm just
yeah.
giving
You know what
you
I'm saying?
I
But
respect
I'm so real about this shit. I don't watch basketball. I'm a fan of whatever team LeBron is on
Oh, you're
at
a
that
LeBron
time.
fan.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like
So you Lake Show with me now.
what?
The Lakers.
He's on the
Yeah,
Lakers.
yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big fan.
I
got
guess
Tory
so.
now,
Like
too.
you know what I'm saying? So like that's the thing. Like so, if you guys ever see me switch team or whatever the case is, I'm really only rooting for one guy. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
LeBron.
And like yeah, dog. Like you know what I'm saying? And that's because the way his
Yo, so
career
LeBron
was.
just got traded to the Celtics. Were you down?
Word that happened?
Yeah, just now.
don't listen
See,
to
he's
him.
trying to play me because I don't watch basketball.
Don't listen to him.
See, he's trying to play me because I don't watch basketball. You feel
Yo,
me?
let's just focus on Chixtape's 5, man. Y'all go get that, man. Streaming now. Tory Lanez, man.
Thanks,
Good
Tory.
seeing you, brother. Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what it is.